Let me show you a little WordPress magic that I know is going to save you time. And this deals with using a reusable block. It's actually something that you can create. It's used for the cases where you need to repeat content from one page or post to another. Suppose you have something where you want to always add some information about an author or anything like that that can repeat from one page to the next. Well, creating a reusable block and using it over and over again is really handy. So let's take a look at this. Now this is just a garden variety 2-column layout. I'll show you what I mean right over here. In the list view, it says column, and here's the 2 columns. One is over here on the left, and one is over here on the right. And I want to change this into a reusable block. So how do I do that? It's actually pretty simple. Let's start with the columns block itself. Go over here to the 3 dots. Click on Add to Reusable Block and give it a name. The name is important. I'm just going to call it Writer's Block. How about that? So Writer's Block it is, and I'm going to save it. And really, that's all there is to it. And you can use this over and over again. Well, what do I mean? Well, let's just do this. Now notice over here, before it just said columns, and now it says writer's block, and everything is contained inside the writer's block. And I'm going to duplicate this right over here, and I'm going to duplicate. And now you can see I have 2 of them that are identical. Well, that would make sense. Now you can use the reusable block on any page or post on this website. I actually have a video later on in the course that deals with exporting and importing the reusable block to another website. Well, what happens when you edit this? Well, let me show you. So suppose you want to say, yeah, but for this instance over here, I want it to be different. I actually want to fill in the author's name, or I want to put in an image, or I want to change something and make it different. Here's what you have to do. Just go over here to the beginning, the writer's block, and you can see right over here it does say writer's block. And this is the most important icon here, which is the ability to detach, if you will, from the reusable block itself. I sort of think of this as the master, and now I'm going to detach from the master. And I just did. And notice over here, now it just says columns. So no evidence at all of it being a reusable block because it's not. And to prove my point, I am going to get rid of the list view. And here's our 2 blocks, but one is just a regular 2 columns, and then this is the reusable block. For this one over here, I'm going to change, let's go over here, the background color of the design. So here's the color, and let's just change this to a gradient over here. Let's pick this one. That's good. Well, what else can I do? Well, I can type in the author's name, in this case, my name. Let's say I want to put an image in over here. And for this, I'm going to go over to the inserter, and I'm going to look for the image block, or actually just type it in over here, and put in the image. And now I'm going to select my image from my media library. Let's use this one over here. Okay, maybe it's a little bit too big, but here's the point. The reusable block itself didn't change. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's do this. Right after our title over here, I'm going to type in the slash, and I happen to know the name of the block because I gave it writer's block as my name. And there it is. So the actual reusable block did not change, but when I detached it from the master, from the reusable block, I was able to edit it. This is great. So if you use this block throughout your site as a reusable block, if you make a change to it, it'll change throughout the entire site. Now there's a couple ways to do that. So while it is a reusable block, I'm going to just go over here. Let's go into the columns block. Yep, that's where I am. And I am going to just change the background color again. Let's do this color over here. And so the reusable block background color changed. The detached block didn't change. And again, the reusable block color changed. So this is fantastic. You can use it really one of two ways. One as a reusable block throughout the site, and or you can detach it from the master reusable block and make your edits like I did over here. Now, what about managing this? If I go over here to the inserter, you'll see I have this new tab over here, reusable, because of the fact that I did create a reusable block. And I only have one reusable block over here. So I can just click on this if I wanted to use it again, or if I want to manage all my blocks. And just click on that, and I'm going to leave my page. Actually, before I leave my page, let's just do this. Let's save. And let's go back to over here, reusable block, manage the block. And it takes you to this page that you really can't access through your WP admin very easily, other than the way I just did. And one other way, which I'll show you in a second. And so if I clicked on this, and I said, I'd like just to change all of these blocks throughout my site, and maybe just change the fact that, I just don't want this two-column layout anymore. Well, just use the list view, go to the first column over here, and I'm just going to delete that. And you can see that's deleted. I'm going to save that. Okay. And now let's go back to where I was working, posts and the reusable block. And look at that. So it changed, but not the one that I detached from the master. One last thing about managing reusable blocks. I did say there was a second way to do it. If you go to the three dots and you scroll down a bit, you will see Manage Reusable Blocks, and it takes you back to where we were just a minute ago. Reusable blocks are great because it's going to save you a lot of time when you have repetitive content that you want to use on different pages and posts.